Wonderful. Well, first, I would like to welcome all of you to the MBA program session. Uh, Thank you so much for joining us. Just quickly before we start, I am going to ask that if you're not speaking to stay on mute, just so that we can limit the background noise. I'll first start off by introducing myself. My name is Lauren Rondesvet, and I am the program manager for the MBA program at Kühne Logistics University. I'm therefore the first point of contact for our prospective students as well as our current students. So if you have any questions, you're most likely reaching out to me either via email or phone. I'm joined today by my colleague Natalie, who I'll let her introduce herself, and one of our current students, Sophia. Natalie?
Yeah, hi everyone, my name is Natalie. I'm responsible for the marketing of the MBA as well as our open enrollment programs that we have at KLU and the executive education. And I'll be joining today as well, and feel free to ask any questions.
Thanks, Natalie. Sophia, do you want to quickly just introduce yourself and tell a little bit about who you are?
Sure. Yes. So hi, everyone. My name is Sophia Galazzi, and indeed, I am in the final of the MBA program. Yeah, I was born in Hungary, and I got until Hamburg. And yeah, I am just writing the master thesis. You will get there most probably as well. Basically, I am here to share some experiences, what I collected during the last couple of months and even year.
Perfect, thank you. Yes, so Sophia's here to also share the student experience. So after the brief presentation, there will be time to ask any questions. So she will be a great resource to talk about what it is actually like to be an MBA student in our program. All right. So I'm just going to begin with a brief presentation to talk about our program a bit, to give you some specs. Just quickly, in terms of Zoom, you're more than welcome to use the Q&A function as well as the chat function to raise any questions. Since we are a smaller group, also feel free, please, to just raise your hand or unmute yourself and ask a question at any time. So unfortunately, due to the current situation, we're not able to join one another on campus. So we thought it would be nice to share some lovely pictures from our campus. We are located in the Hafen City, in the harbor, in Hamburg, at the center, you could say, of shipping, logistics, the hub. We do have a very lovely campus with great facilities, and we're looking forward to, at some point in the hopefully near future, joining together again on campus for such an open day, and welcome you as well to our campus. So a bit about the program. I'm not sure how many of you have already taken a look at our website or some of our publications. Maybe this is the first time that you're hearing about KLU or our MBA program. So here you can see some pictures of our lovely past MBA students. Here, some of the students on one of our study trips to Ohio, as well as to Shanghai. These are two study trips that are incorporated, which I'll also cover in a bit. So just a quick breakdown of the program. We are an 18-month part-time MBA program. The language of instruction is English. The way that the courses take place is approximately once per month for 4 days, so Friday to Monday. Our students are normally on campus. At the moment, they are online via Zoom. Like I said, we're hoping and looking forward to returning to on-campus sessions in the future. This includes, your study time includes a 1-month summer break, as well as the 2 one-week study trips to Ohio State University in the United States, as well as to Tongji University in Shanghai, China. And then, as Sophia mentioned, she's currently in the last phase of her master studies, which includes the 5 months for writing the master thesis or the capstone project. I'll just quickly note one of our important dates. Our final application deadline is July 31st, 2021, with the program beginning in September. So we do only have one program start date. All of our MBA programs begin in September and then carry through with a final ending date in March, 18 months later, with the graduation then in the following September. In terms of our application documents, we do have an online application system with some supplemental documents, all of which you can find on our website. I'm also more than happy to follow up after our webinar with an email containing attachments to the documents that you can then download directly from there. In terms of our admission requirements, we have three main requirements, one being first a bachelor's degree or a first academic degree, along with at least 3 years of work experience. Because we are an MBA program, work experience is essential to the program. Our students are working professionals and really carry their daily work and their experiences into the classroom. Perhaps Sophia can also speak a little bit later to that, how to combine the work and study at the same time. And the third major requirement is English proficiency, which we ask to be proven by a English certification test. I'll quickly just also cover the curriculum. As I mentioned, it is an 18-month part-time program. Our students are in courses for approximately 13 months. And as I mentioned, this takes place in these 4-day block seminars. We have 9 modules, the 9th being the master's thesis. And throughout the first 8 modules, a variety of courses are covered. The way that we've structured the program is you begin first with a very broad overview, and as you go through the program, it becomes much more narrow and focused into different topics. You see here too that in module 6, this is built in the study program, the study trip to Ohio, and yes, the study trips to Ohio and Shanghai are built into the program. So those are also an essential part of the module and the curriculum. I'll give a quick overview of our current class profile. So we welcomed our new class in last September. We currently have 11 students in the program, 8 males and 3 females. The average age you can see here is about 30, but we do have quite a wide range. We also are currently running a corporate MBA program with the Hala, a company here in Hamburg, where we have 12 students with also quite a broad age range and distribution of students. You can see here also the nationalities that are represented in our current class. Yes, we are an international program. We are happy to have students from all over the world, as this also increases the collaboration in the classroom. It brings in different experiences and backgrounds. Here you can see also some of our current and past employers of students in our MBA program. This is only a small representation, but some of the more represented employers in the program. I would highly recommend also, as we are unfortunately not able to join on campus, checking out our YouTube channel, where we have a playlist for executive education. Here you can get a glimpse into some of what it's like to be an MBA student, talking about the benefits of our MBA program, as well as hearing from some of our wonderful professors. Normally, we would always welcome prospective students to join us on campus for a lecture to understand what a lecture in the MBA program looks like, to hear from current students and also meet the professors. As I mentioned, currently that's not possible, so I would highly recommend checking out these videos. And finally, I'll leave my contact information here in case you don't already have it, but you are always welcome to schedule also a one-to-one meeting with me, reaching out via email or phone. We are here to answer all of your questions. So yes, that was a quick overview of our program, very brief. I'd like to leave most of the time for you to ask any questions, and perhaps, as I mentioned, yes, for Sophia to speak a little bit about her experience in the MBA program, especially the transition from on-campus teaching to online, given that we are still currently dealing with, yes, the situation, how that was for her as a student. So I will now open it up for questions. Feel free to, like I said, just unmute yourself or raise your hand.
Yes, so meanwhile, then I would just jump into my experience sharing, right? I didn't mention I am working at Kühne Logistics here in Hamburg. Basically, yeah, some few words about my background. In Hungary, I studied at a university. My main focus area was international study, and also organization development. And basically, during my career path, I was always acting and being responsible in the area of process management, organization management. And it is currently also here at Kühne Nagel in my focus strategy, organization and process management, and responsible for Europe. It is just important to mention because feeling that I am responsible for Europe also determine that I get to know a lot of people, different cultures, and this was also one of the reason what I was my driver or motivation when I heard about the MBA program, that I knew that there will be quite a diverse team. And also Lauren just mentioned or showed how many different nationalities are taking part. And it was indeed not an expectation, but I didn't know what to expect regarding this. But I experienced a lot in my professional life, coming to the MBA program and get to know different people, different experts, because indeed work experience is key comparing to the university when I was learning at the beginning of my lifetime. Now we had really practice from the work, and we could really learn from an academic approach, but also meantime practice and exchange. And this was really key, that everyone was motivated by the same things or same drivers, that we really wanted to develop ourselves further. And this helped a lot to get to know each other, to be open on the class. And on the other hand, regarding the different expertise, I've never thought that I could get to know people from so far from the world, and it was really a life experience. So even if I am still doing my master thesis and we will still have some lectures, I could reflect back that this is really a life experience, what I gathered. And sometimes, it's pathetic, but I also got to know friends, and I am sure that even if we will finish the MBA program from official point of view, we will definitely will not finish our relationships. And some words about the transformation from being on site to online. It sounds very crucial. However, our team dynamic was so great. I feel like that even we were online, our experiences regarding the lectures could be continued as we would be at the university. It's not comparable, I know, but it was a huge benefit that we got to know each other. We were open to each other, and we really wanted to learn from each other. And this helped a lot to overcome on those changes what we had during the last year, let's say like this. And it was really a good learning from the perspective as well, how people could cope with the changes, and we were motivating each other even. And one other thing is that the MBA program includes so different areas of subjects and perspectives, that it is really giving a wide overview over all the professional basically areas what we could face in any industries or in any independent where we are working. So basically we learned from each other a lot. We learned from the professors a lot, and we were never the key was that we really respected each other's background, each other's culture. And this is why our team really could grow together. and I am sure that we will stick to each other. One other thing, Lauren also mentioned that the study trips are of course key elements of the program. Unfortunately, we couldn't make it and we cannot make it, but even this was a proof for me that yes, this kind of unexpected things could happen, but if you have a really good dynamic in the team, and the team is really sticking to each other, then we can overcome, and we will make the best out of it even online. It's not comparable, but most probably the classes after us will have the chance to make this really incredible experience, to travel to different countries and get to know even more from the environment and other cultures. So yeah, basically that's it.
Perfect, thank you, Sophia. And I've seen now some questions in the chat and the Q&A. And Sophia mentioned, yes, the team and the team aspect. We do, as you've also seen from our recent intake, our class sizes are relatively small. We like to keep the classes small because this allows for a lot of collaboration between the students. You then really get to know the group that you're working with and are carried through the program together for those 18 months. One of the questions I see here was asking us to speak about some alumni networks and possibilities. The wonderful thing about KLU is we have a very active alumni community. We do have a dedicated alumni office that really works hard to stay in contact with our alumni, to keep them also engaged on what's happening at KLU. I mean, here today alone, we're joined by a soon-to-be alumni. So we really are proud that our former students come back and like to give back to the community and really share their experiences and support our current students. Just also this past week, we had a series of career talks from former alumni talking about the different sectors they're working in. This was open to our current students as well as the general public to hear about their career paths, how did they get to where they were. So there are regular events and initiatives to try and keep our alumni network strong and growing, and to really also allow for our current students to reach out and tap into that alumni network. I see also another question about the travel and a bit about the makeup of the courses. The fact that yes, our students do normally in normal times, yes, travel approximately once a month to Hamburg. And because our program is a part-time program, our students don't qualify for a study visa in Germany. That does mean if you are from abroad, it would be a matter of, yes, finding out how to get yourself to Hamburg approximately once a month. We do have plenty of scholarship opportunities and financing options in terms of helping you finance your studies. And I would recommend also checking that out on our website. As I mentioned, I can send a follow-up email with some further information and links to get that information. Yes, I see another question. Do you see students engage with students from other years or the master's programs as well? Sophia, maybe you can speak to this about your experience as a student on campus and your engagement with perhaps the other study programs. Perhaps this also has to do with the makeup of the MBA courses and the fact that they take place on the weekends. Just maybe talk about, have you had the chance to engage with other students at KLU's campus?
Yes, this is an interesting question, and you also mentioned regarding how we could cope with the profession, so working and also being at the KLU and learning. Yes, I would say from my perspective, I didn't and I couldn't manage more than this. Let's say like this. It was not overwhelming. So from the effort perspective. However, yes, we really needed to make a very good time management, not just being there, right? So it's not just about being there because from Friday to Monday we were there. But to be prepared and really not multitasking during these days. This really needed discipline. And regarding the the engagement with other students in programs. My honesty is here is no, I didn't have a time. What I really appreciated over this couple of months that we really had the chance. Yeah, so if someone could or needed or had the time for that, we had the chance to to use all the possibilities what could be given via this or the facilities, the programs at the KLU. So yeah, that's basically it.
Thank you. Yes, so to follow up a bit on that, I would say, given the way that the program is set up and that the courses are taking place on the weekends, there tends to not be so much overlap between the MBA program and the other programs. That being said, KLU as a university is constantly putting on events. You know, our students like to be on campus and engaging with one another. So there is definitely opportunities, and we're always welcome to also hearing feedback on how we can engage the MBA program further with the other programs, so that students also have more of an overlap. But in terms of, you know, this networking and support, there is a lot of opportunity for cross-program networking and to hear, you know, what are the other programs doing. To also, we have, as part of our alumni and networking efforts, we do have also a Klu Cv Book where students can be added to that, and you can look and see, okay, what is this person in the bachelor's program doing? What is this person in the master's program doing? So there is an opportunity to network and engage with the other programs, definitely. Sophia also mentioned this balance of working full-time and attending a program. A lot of times you often get the question, you know, what is the benefit of having a part-time program? Isn't it sometimes nicer to have, you know, a full-time program where all you're doing is focusing on your studies? We put it this way, that it is a benefit we feel for our students to continue working, as what they're learning in the classroom can then be directly applied to their daily working life. So Sophia, maybe you can also give an example of how you maybe saw the crossover between your courses and your coursework and your collaboration with your fellow team of students, and how you were able to bring that back into your working and professional area.
Exactly. So this was just one thing that we were there on the lecture on these 4 days. But what was all of these lectures were very rich. What we can take away from the courses, and yes, we had assignments and we had to prepare ourselves. But at the end, we had also tasks and very valuable advices what we can do in our real professional life. We were discussing and we were even working with real life examples on several lectures. We were discussing how we are doing certain things, how we did in the past, where we would like to develop ourselves. So it's not always like back in the days when we had a structured way what to learn. Sometimes just the flow was given based on the teammates' experiences. So several lectures gave the flexibility to really work with our professional experience, and we even could reflect on that after several lectures and discussing with each other how we could really implement certain advices, hints, what we learned. Or exactly. So if someone needed more tools or methods, how they can really turn it into practice or action, then the professors were always available to contact them to get further advice, even, let's say, like this, privately or separately next to the lecture. So this is why it was not about the 4 days what we spent together. It was more or less really the whole full program. Anytime we could just reflect back and also take actions and bring it to the next lecture and discuss further. So this is why it was just a huge benefit that we didn't need to stick to every time to really plan slides or presentations, but we really discussed real-time examples.
Perfect, thank you, Sophia. Another question that just came up is in regards to how far in advance you receive the dates for the weekend to also plan accordingly in terms of travels to and from Hamburg. Typically, what we do is we post the dates, the academic calendar well in advance, so you can already see the dates of the lectures. It could be that the actual lecture that is delivered on those days changes, but we also understand that because our students are working full-time and traveling, that there needs to be plenty of time in advance to plan. So that is usually posted in the spring, so before the fall semester begins, for you to take a look at. We're currently in the process of finalizing the dates for the program, so that should be posted very soon on the website. And another follow-up question was in regards to the weekly workload and hours for the MBA, and if we see students reduce their jobs to part-time or if still continue to work full-time. I think that Sophia can also speak to this, that it depends on the professor sometimes how much preparation work you have. We have some professors who like to give a lot of readings. We have some professors who provide, just a short article or a prep exercise before the lectures. But maybe, Sophie, you can also talk about, again, maybe the balance in hours and kind of how you see that.
Exactly. It's quite challenging to give an average per week, because it was, as you just said, sometimes it was more, sometimes it was less. What we also gave a feedback during the MBA program, how to balance those lectures which require more time. So sometimes it was the case that during the 4 days, 2 lectures, we got 2 assignments, and then you can imagine, of course, you need to spend time for assignments, more time than just a self-reflection, or you may have also financial lectures where you really need to think, let's say, like this, and then you really need to put a lot of efforts and a lot of discussions. So what I could just say, in general, the assignments were not more than, I don't know, 3-4 pages. And it depends, of course, how you can, how effective and efficient you can reflect and take the time to write such an assignment. So this is why I would say it was possible to manage even full time. I didn't, no one from my classmates needed to reduce the working time, even with families, or even from other countries who needed to come to Hamburg on a monthly basis. So it is about the discipline, it is about the time management, but I really would just conclude that these assignments require maybe 1 or 2 days. It depends really on your efficiency, and also there are assignments where you really need to reflect, which is time consuming, but this is the way how you also learn. So it was possible to balance, and I am sure that our feedbacks were also and will be considered, how to distribute these lectures, that these time-consuming lectures or assignments will not follow each other, but will be distributed properly. And honestly speaking, there were also a very good advantage when we had courses where we needed to do the assignment on the course, or during these 2 days. We needed to prepare together presentation, and we also got time for that in general. Sometimes we were just spending 1 or 2 hours after the course together, but this is good for also building relationships. But on the other hand, we were done in 2 days, and we didn't need to do any assignments afterwards. So this is why it's really possible to manage these assignments on a proper way.
Yes, thank you, Sophia. And also another follow-up to the question about students reducing their workload or going down to part-time. One of the aspects of our application process is also, or one of the documents is an employer statement. So we ask also from the beginning that, of course, you speak to your employer and that they're on board with the MBA program, as you do also need the support from them in terms of having the time off to attend the courses, also during the study trip time to have the time to travel. So for each student, it's different, and depending also on the personal situation, family life, home life, how they choose to do it. We've had some students in the past who have chosen to, maybe they are at the moment in a transition phase from their job, they're not working full time. We've also had students from abroad who have chosen to move to Hamburg for the duration of their studies. So it really is a wide range of possibilities and ways that our students make the program work for them. But as Sophia mentioned, and we do believe that it is a benefit to have this work and study life together to really incorporate what you're learning, as what's taught in the classes is very hands-on, very practical, and is meant to really impact the daily working life. Any further questions or any follow-up questions from what we've discussed? Sophia, maybe you also want to chat a bit about your decision-making process when you were perhaps at this stage of thinking about the MBA, thinking about the MBA program. What was also your deciding factor? Why KLU? Maybe reflecting a bit about that process for yourself.
Yes, I would say I was honored to take the opportunity because I am from Hungary, and honestly speaking, this is not just a simple program, right? It's really executive, and I guess this is I felt like it's a one-time chance or one lifetime chance, or how you may describe. I really felt like this is a chance to most probably I won't get again in my life, and I didn't expect what really followed. So even my expectations were, let's say like this, comparing what I got lower, because I really just felt I need to develop myself from the academic point of view. I need, because I was mainly experiencing on the job, and I was learning on the job after the university, and I learned a lot during 5 years, but I needed to reflect back. When you do things, sometimes you just do it by intentions or these on the job experiences, and then you become maybe an expert, but the theory was also for me very important. And in the MBA program, I experienced how much more I could learn, and from the others. It's really not just about that we, from an academic point of view, develop ourselves, but how much perspectives I could gain with the exchanges with the students. This was unexpected. Even it was already announced in the program, but this is totally different when we come together and really just get to know each other. And my motivation was definitely self-development, and also to see what is my next milestone in my career path. And the interesting thing was that I didn't have such thoughts what I got during the MBA, where my career path should follow. So definitely I got a lot of perspectives where else I could be more, or I am, my strengths are, let's say like this, and where I would like to develop even further. It's this course is also about leadership, right? And this is one of the biggest focus, and it is really a great journey to get to know more about your driver in the career path. You may really learn something what you even didn't realize before coming to the MBA. This was definitely one of the biggest benefits I could take out.
Perfect, thank you, Sophia. I've seen some more questions come up, also follow up to traveling for the MBA. So yes, to confirm, it's only 4 days per month, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday when you have courses. So this means that our students who are living abroad, or perhaps they're also living in a different part of Germany or in Europe, they would then travel just to Hamburg for those 4 days or 5 days, however long you would like to stay, and then travel back at the end. So it is concentrated into those 4 days approximately once per month. We had another question asking about which industries our students' backgrounds lie in, and if this is considered when you apply to the MBA. So we consider all backgrounds. The biggest criteria for us is that you have some type of work experience. In terms of a criteria for which background our students come from, it can be quite broad. Given the focus of our program, that Kühne Logistics University, there is a bit more further focus on logistics and supply chain management, as well as Sophia mentioned this leadership aspect. Our students do tend to come from backgrounds or companies that are focused in these sectors. However, we also have students in our current program who come from a consulting background, from a more financial accounting background. So it is quite broad. As I mentioned, the way our curriculum is set up, it does cover quite a broad range of topics. And the biggest impact or the biggest benefit of the program is having students from a wide range of backgrounds to bring in their diverse experiences. Also, when approaching perhaps a problem or a question, they can bring in a different point of view than somebody from a different background, which enhances the experience. So while it is perhaps also more focused on these shipping, logistics, transportation companies, it's definitely not a requirement for our program, and it's not considered which industry you're coming from as part of the application process. What we're looking for is to have the relevant work experience, and to see that our MBA will also help you move forward in your career. This could also mean a career change. So some students also come to us and choose to attend the MBA because they'd like to gain further experience in areas which they previously weren't introduced to, or maybe aren't so much a part of their job. I would like to gain that experience to then go on to working in one of these sectors at a later point. Any further questions at this point? Just take a look. If not, then maybe, okay. How do you schedule a one-to-one session with me to discuss application requirements? I always recommend sending an email to the mba@theklu.org or giving me a phone call. Then I'm also more than happy to schedule a one-to-one session to discuss also further questions. I understand that also there could be some more specific questions that prospective applicants have. So I'm more than welcome to discuss that also, not in the webinar format, at a later date. One thing that I will also let you know is we are also always happy to put prospective students in contact with either current students or alumni to discuss, just as Sophia has discussed, all of these points where a student input can be better. So asking about the courses, if you'd like to speak to somebody who is working in the same company or sector that you're in to talk about how they feel the MBA benefited or helped them in this way, then I'm also more than happy to connect you to our alumni or current students. Sophia, I'll ask you also again, maybe at this point in your master's thesis phase to yeah, reflect a bit back on the program and maybe discuss some highlights that may be academic or, you know, non-academic, maybe in the context of, you know, those weekends afterwards. Yeah, discuss maybe some of the highlights of your MBA experience.
Yeah, I guess just to enhance, my highlights was really to meet people from very different backgrounds and cultures and perspectives, and coming together and growing together like now we are. We are not anymore strangers to each other, but really colleagues and even friends, as I said. My highlight was to see and to observe this growth and development together. Highlights was also from the lectures point of view. They were really well structured on a way that they were really logically built up. They were relevant for everyone. It doesn't matter where you are working. And also my background was not, so I am not a leader, I am not a team lead even. And it was also a really good and yeah, the highlight to understand even young people who are currently leading teams and how to from learning from them as well, and reflecting whether I would like to lead people and what leadership is really. I learned a lot about these segments. Even for those people who are not currently leading, was a really good self-reflection whether we would like to do and how we would like to do. And this is why I didn't expect several things what these lectures, these subjects could bring. It was a very good highlight that even if I am not working and was not working in finance area or financial area, we had a microeconom, and that was really a great spirit during these days, even if you wouldn't believe, because they are really exhausting hours together, but everyone wanted to understand and everyone understood, and we were even doing assignments and everyone was proud of the outcome. Even we are not really this is not really our focus area, but we could really learn from different areas, and yeah, and just put it into the real life context. This was very good, not just to learn the theory, but to really understand how these come to real life. That was really helpful to me as well, to open our silo and open our little box maybe, and really thinking out of the box. So that was my absolute number one highlight.
Perfect, thank you. We've had now also a couple questions about the 4-day periods in Hamburg. So what do those look like? A typical kind of MBA weekend. So courses begin on Friday morning at 9 a.m. And go until 5 p.m. So 9 to 5 every day. As Sophia mentioned, this is also then quite a mix of, sometimes you're in breakout groups working, you know, with your classmates. Sometimes you're in lectures. Sometimes it also requires, you know, staying a few hours afterwards to work on assignments, because when we are on campus, of course, all the students are there and then like to also spend time in the evenings together, perhaps. And yes, so the typical schedule is 9 to 5 with breaks in between Friday through Monday. Is only one topic covered. So each MBA weekend, you would have 2 courses. So one course would take place Friday and Saturday, and the second course then Sunday, Monday. Sometimes, Sophia mentioned the economics course. Sometimes we do have a weekend where the courses covered across the whole weekend are very similar, and kind of Friday through Monday, you're covering the same topic. But we also have weekends where one topic that you talk about Friday and Saturday is different than the topic that you'll talk about Sunday and Monday. So it's quite a mix. Sometimes you're also taught by the same professor the whole weekend for the 4 days, and most of the time it's 2 different professors, quite a different mix. Any further questions about the topics we covered, perhaps about the application process? We're still good on time, so I want to make sure that any questions you have, we can answer here live. Also, we have Sophia here for the student input, so feel free to ask anything. Sophia, maybe you can also talk about, at the moment, you're working on your master's thesis, and how you maybe are structuring that also in terms of the difference between, you know, the master's thesis phase versus the coursework. Also maybe how your master's thesis applies to your work, and how you kind of came up with your topic, and maybe what that process looks like for you.
Yeah. Regarding the master thesis, of course, you have the whole program time to think of what you would like to take as a subject or as a focus area. But based on my experience, I had something in my mind, of course, but there are so diverse and different topics covered on the subjects or the lectures, that it's likely or could be that you change your mind at the end of the lectures, and just decide for something totally new, what was even not in your professional life. I didn't do that, but I was considering to do that. However, I was waiting until the end of the whole, so basically until September, to cover most of the lectures, just to decide. I took a subject or an area from my work environment. Basically, that I thought the experiences I gained over the last couple of months and putting together with the professional life will bring me to the next etap of my work or career path. I would like to reflect in my master thesis, comparing to my first master thesis I wrote. The difference is that this is more serious from my side, let's say like this, because I take it to really benefit from it. Yeah, so that I really would like to create something what I can work with afterwards, and I can also reflect on that in my next step. Regarding the time management, it's very important that it feels so long, 5 months. It is not, especially with the work together. Considering that we also need to conduct a kind of survey or interviews, so we really need to take time and be really disciplined with the plan how we are gonna do the master thesis and finalize the master thesis. So this is why also talking and discussing with other classmates, it's not easy. Yeah. So because if you are I don't know, single, and and you do not have a family, and you do not have the COVID situation and such things, then definitely, and work, then it's easier. But currently we are living in a challenging time, and definitely it needs more structure, more discipline. I was really happy that we could get a lot of hints and advices from the professors, from the KLU at all, to get our focus area to kind of help and develop the idea together. But here is really about us. Let's say like this, that it's not about what the professor wants to hear or what the professor wants to you to write. It's really, you need to get an idea what you would like to benefit from, and what is in your interest. And this is the most difficult part. This is my experience, getting into the idea and getting into the bone of the master thesis topic is the difficultest part, but possible to manage.
Wonderful, thank you, Sophia. I am conscious of the time, as I'm also not sure if you are planning to attend any of our other sessions. They will be running until 3:45. So I'll open it up once more to any last lingering questions. As I mentioned, I'm also more than happy to reach out via email if there's any follow-up questions, anything comes up over, of course, the next couple of days, then you're also more than welcome to reach out at any point. All right, well, if there are no further questions, then I want to just say once more, thank you for joining us today. I hope that we were able to give, yes, a first good glimpse into our MBA program. Oh, we have actually one more question. Sorry about that. Sophia, for you, besides the 4 days on campus, more time needs to be spent to accomplish the MBA. How much time did you spend overall, if you have any idea? Perhaps also for the preparation, maybe you can take, for example, like one particular MBA weekend where there was maybe a lot of preparation, and one where there maybe was just a smaller task, to compare the two.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not talking about those where we needed to manage the presentation or the assignment on the course. Then let's say we needed to read a couple of articles and readings, basically that took, let's say like this, with the work 3 days, right? Because let's say like this, you may work during the day, and in the evening you just read the articles. They are very, very on point articles, and based on my experience, the most important that you read the case studies, of course, that you prepare yourself, because definitely this will be something what you need to work with on the lectures. It's not time consuming, and also regarding the readings, it's not the most time consuming part. But regarding the assignments, I spent when we needed to, for example, write an assignment 4 or 5 pages and self-reflection, then it was basically also 3 not whole days, for example, per month, or 3-4 days, just to start it, write it, and then review it again. So this was also possible to manage. The most time-consuming part was the financial part, but it is just for me, because this was not my area. But this also brought a lot, and I spent more or less 1 week. Not whole days, but 1 week, every day, just dedicated some hours. So this is how. But as I said, this was just an extreme one. 3-4 days per month would be a general average.
Perfect. Thank you, Sophia. Yes, I would definitely say there's also a mix in terms of types of assignments. So sometimes what your final assessment or assignment is completed within the weekend. Sometimes, as Sophia mentioned, you're asked to turn something in, such as a self-reflection paper or a presentation at a later date. But we do try to be conscious of the fact that the MBA is not your entire life, and that you are, we're working around also other schedules too. So to try to also make the pre-readings and information about the courses available ahead of time, so that there's plenty of time to prepare. And as Sophia mentioned, also scheduling the courses so that you're not having 3 months in a row where each course asks you to complete an assignment. So we do try to be conscious of that fact. All right, if there are no further questions, then yes, thank you all. I wish you a very nice rest of your Saturday. We here in Hamburg have been lucky enough to see the sunshine, which isn't always so common. So yes, enjoy the rest of your Saturday afternoon, and I look forward to hearing from you all, hopefully, in the future.
Lauren, maybe 2 little hints. We still got the early bird discount till next week, till the 28th. So you would get 10% of the tuition fee. And also now at 5 to 4, the university is offering like a meet the service area gathering in an online foyer. So you should have gotten a link. So feel free to join there as well. You can also talk to us again. Lauren and me will be waiting there, and just to talk to the facility staff and other students if you'd like to bump into someone, just chat a bit.
Yes, thank you, Natalie, for the reminder. Also about the early bird deadline, that yes, that it's fast approaching. You can find all the information also on our website in terms of the application process and where to apply. All right, thank you very much.
Okay, bye everyone.